What's up, guys? It's Nando. Back with one more video for you guys, and I appreciate your patience because it's been a while since I've been doing videos consistently. If you caught my previous video on the Galaxy XZ Premium, life happens, and here I am. However, I've got the XZ Premium in my hand, and if you guys are new to my channel, I like to do impressions, I like to do battery life reviews, I like to do things to consider, and I like to do my final review as in a likes and dislikes format. This isn't a final review. This is, however, a things to consider if you are thinking about buying the Xperia XZ Premium. And I'm going to go ahead and do this a little bit so you guys can see this lovely, lovely, lovely fingerprint magnet. This has got to be one of the first things you consider when buying this phone. I mean, if you're not willing to put a case on it, which I normally put cases on everything, and if you're not willing to carry around some sort of cloth to clean it, then after about 5 minutes of using your phone, this is what it's going to look like. I mean, it's going to be extremely dirty. With that being said, when the phone is clean, this phone is sexy. It's a well-built phone. There are some things in regards to hardware decisions that I wish Sony would have done differently, but that's something that everybody opinionates one way or the other. For example, the phone is glass on the back, glass on the front. The phone obviously has these massive bezels on the front, which serve no purpose. No purpose whatsoever, because the speakers on this phone aren't that great. They're decent, but they're not that great. And unless you plan on always holding your phone by the bezel, in which case you have to be super careful because otherwise you're going to cover up the speaker grills, I don't understand why they're there. It turns a 5.5-inch phone into something much bigger than what it needs to be. I think these bezels look even worse sometimes than like the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus and 6 and 6, you know, that whole iPhone bezel issue that we've talked about in the past. So one thing is, it's a fingerprint magnet, so do keep that in mind. Two, the bezels will probably get annoying. If it's something that doesn't bother you, then great. Then there you go. All the bezels for you. Now, one thing that has kind of irked me in regards to the hardware decision of this phone is the fact that you've got some premium glass on the back, you've got some premium glass on the front, and you've got metal tops and metal bottoms. But you've got plastic sides. And at first it took me a little while to, figure that out because I haven't done a lot of research on this phone. I had seen some reviews, but I wanted this phone to be a fun experience for me because when you're looking at trying a new phone, buying a new device, whatever the case may be, I'm sure I'm not the only one that watches and reads everything there is to read or watch about that device. But for this phone, being that it's my first Sony phone since I think the Z5 Compact, I didn't do that. And I didn't know that the sides were plastic. And when you tap it, it doesn't feel plastic, but it is plastic. And I just don't understand that. I don't understand why you would, cheap out on the sides of the phone when you obviously have it on the rest of the phone. So that's kind of annoyed me. Another thing that you guys need to consider when buying this phone is the fact that are you going to go with the US model, which you can get on Amazon, I think, for $799. With no fingerprint scanner, you got to root your phone or something like that, or root over the international ROM or something like that. Or you can go with the international model, which is the phone I have in my hand, and you do get the fingerprints scanner, which is on the power button, but you lose US warranty. The model I have here is the dual SIM international model, and this one comes with the fingerprint scanner, and it was about $150 less than the US version. I'll link this model in the description so you guys can take a look if it interests you and price shop and whatnot. But for $150 less plus a fingerprint scanner, I thought that this phone was a buy. Now, with that being said, there is one or two main issues that I'm having with this phone right now, and this will translate and go over into my likes and dislike videos that I will also do coming up shortly, but I wanted to make it in this things to consider because it's a big deal to me. I don't know if I have a faulty phone. I don't know if it's because it's an international model phone. I don't know if other people have had these issues. but I've had this phone now for a couple days, and the Wi-Fi on this phone is horrendous. Horrendous. The connection, I have 2.4 gigahertz router and a 5 gigahertz router, one of those dual bands ones. I've got one that's just 2, I've got one that's just 5, and I've tried all 3 different routers. I've never had an issue with any of my devices: HTC U11, iPhone 7, iPad Pro 10.5, iPad Pro 9.7, Mac Mini, old school, Apple TV, Chromecast, Nintendo Switch. I can go on and on and on. I've never had any issues with dropped internet connections. I just haven't, until I got the XZ Premium. And that is extremely, extremely frustrating because if you're not paying attention and you're at home and you're watching something, you're going to blow through your data. You're going to blow through your data like it's nobody's business, and that's already happened to me because I didn't realize that I wasn't on Wi-Fi. I've tried messing with all the settings that I can't figure it out. I've Googled the issue, and it seems to be an Xperia XZ Premium issue, or XZ, one of the two. Because a lot of people have complained about it. Sony has not addressed it, and I guess that I'm one of the several that have had to deal with that issue. Now, there are people out there that haven't had that issue, and I wish that my phone was one of the ones that doesn't have that issue, but that's not the case. So the Wi-Fi on this phone has made it almost impossible to use when in the house. When I'm out and about, obviously, I am using data, and that's not an issue. But when I'm at home, I need to be using my Wi-Fi. Now, the other thing is GPS connection. This phone has very, very poor GPS connection. Again, this could be a faulty unit, but again, I've done research on it, and there have been plenty of cases where people have complained about the GPS connection of the Xperia XZ and XZ Premium. I was trying to travel to a friend the other day. It's the first time I was going over to their place, and I simply just couldn't get there using GPS. It wouldn't move, and this is using Google Maps, this is using Waze, this is me downloading several different GPS apps, and none of them worked. In more often than not, I would say that it would even say that there's no GPS connection. There's just no GPS being picked up. And that's with me having my location settings on this phone as high as it goes. You know, the one with GPS on, data on, searching Wi-Fi on, the one that sucks up all your battery life. I had that on. I had all that on, and I'm still having issues with my GPS connection. So that's something that is it's a big issue. It's a big issue, and I don't know when or how or if Sony's going to address it. But I needed to share it with you guys because it's something that you need to consider if you're going to buy this phone. I don't know where you're going to be using this phone, if you're using the United States, if you're using it internationally or not. I'm on T-Mobile. Data-wise, no issues. Speed-wise with data, no issues. Speed-wise through Wi-Fi, big issues. Connection drops through Wi-Fi, huge issues. And connections drops through GPS, huge issues. So do keep that in mind, guys, if you're considering the XZ Premium. That's really all that's on the top of my mind right now. Another thing is I am enjoying the battery life on this phone. I've used this phone not through 100% charge yet. I've gotten it up to 80 or so, but every time that I bring it down from 80 down to 5-10%, I'm getting about 5 hours of screen on time. So that's great battery life. So know that. Also know that this battery charges not that fast. It's a QuickCom 3.0 charge, but it doesn't charge as fast as the HTC U11 or the Samsung or the OnePlus 5 and all those phones. I don't know. It is what it is, but the battery life lasts a good bit. So that's something I enjoyed about the phone. And that's about it, guys. I will leave my full likes and dislikes for my final review. Some of what I've mentioned in this video will be on that video because it is a big deal. But if you guys have any questions or comments, let me know in the section below. You know where to leave them. Thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe if you haven't. Sorry about that, guys, and because my battery life is always dying on me when I'm making a video, I had to switch the battery out real quick and switch to this whole blog style. Let me go ahead and grab this big old fingerprint magnet itself so you guys can see a little bit better what I'm talking about. Anyways, subscribe if you haven't to catch up on these videos right here and other videos that I got coming up in the future. It was Nando. I'm out with this one. On to the next, guys. Peace. Salute.
And stay geeky like always.